Students, in the previous video lecture, we have learned how does a particle will execute vertical circular motion. In vertical circular motion, velocity magnitude and also velocity direction changes continuously with respect to time. When the particle is going from A to B, when the particle is going from A to B, its velocity decreases. When the particle is coming back from B to A, velocity increases because acceleration due to gravity is directed in opposite direction to that of velocity of the body. And we have derived equations for tension in the previous video lecture. Today we will be deriving conditions for minimum and maximum velocities to be provided for the particle at position A in order to execute vertical circular motion. We have different possible conditions for particle to be executed uniform circular motion. Now let me explain them clearly. This is vertical circular motion where the particle starts at position A, and this is position B, this is position C, and this is position D. And when you are providing velocity at position A, depending on the velocity provided for this particle, you will be providing some magnitude of the velocity here. Corresponding to this velocity, the body can go up to point B, the body can reach point C, the body can reach point C and execute complete circular motion. So you have different possible conditions depending on the magnitude of velocity. Depending on magnitude of velocity provided at point A, body can execute vertical circular motion such a way. First condition is that it starts at A and then it go to like somewhere in between A and B. It can go to this position P and then come back again. So particle can reach up to position P and execute simple harmonic motion. That means particle goes to position P and then it comes back to A and then it goes in opposite direction and then comes back to A. So it execute circle instead of moving in the circular path completely, it just oscillate. It will be executing simple harmonic motion. That is first condition. Second condition is that particle can reach B and fall back. So if you are providing greater velocity for the particle at position A, it can reach up to point B and then again it may fall down. It can reach up to point B and it can fall down. That's number 2. And the third condition is that particle can reach any position between B and C. So when you are providing greater velocity, it may reach in between B and C. It can reach any position and then it fall down. It can reach any position between B and C and fall back. That is condition number 3. And condition number 4 is that particle can reach position C and fall back and fall vertically down. That is number 4. And number 5 is that particle can execute vertical circular motion. So these all are the possible conditions where, depending on the velocity provided for the particle, there can be possible ways. Like observe here, you are providing some velocity at this point such that it can go up to P and then fall back. It execute just SHM. That is first condition. Second condition is that if you are providing greater velocity, it can reach up to point B and then fall back. That is condition 2. Condition 3 is that it can go beyond B position and it will reach some position between B and C and then fall down vertically. That is condition number 3. Condition number 4, it can go up to vertical position C and then from there it can fall down vertically. And the last condition is that depending on the velocity provided, it can execute complete circular motion. It can execute complete circular motion. These are the 5 possible conditions where a body, when it is being provided velocity v, it can have these 5 possibilities. It can just execute simple harmonic motion. It can go to point B, which is exactly perpendicular to the radius, and then fall down. It can reach anywhere between B and C and then fall down vertically. It can go to position C and then fall down vertically. It can execute vertical complete circular motion. These are the all possible conditions where the body, when provided velocity v, horizontal velocity at position A, all these conditions can be executed depending on magnitude of velocity v. Now let us find out what are the minimum and maximum values of velocity for executing SHM, for executing uniform circular, for executing vertical circular motion, so on. So let me give some velocity to this particle at position A. As a result, it goes to some point in between A and B. Like this is the point where it is reaching. And at this particular point, we will use free body diagram. So that is the first condition what we have discussed. The body can reach anywhere in between A and B. If this is reaching at this point P, now what will be the condition for tension and as well as velocities that we will be discussing now. Now let us consider this body is executing vertical circular motion. You are providing some velocity v, and at this point P there is gravitational force which is acting in downward direction, and velocity for this particle is exactly in this direction, and centrifugal force will be acting in outward direction. So this is velocity direction and this is centripetal force m v square divided by r. R is radius of the circle, and you are providing some velocity u initially for this particle. Gravitational force is mg. So this is how you can take resolution of the vectors at point P. Now after resolving the vectors, what you are supposed to write? Using Newton laws, using free body diagram. I can just write tension. This is tension in the string. This is tension in the string. Tension in the string is upward. Now I can write tension in the string T, which is in this direction, and that is written as, see here, this tension is making some angle with respect to, this tension is making some angle with respect to theta. Okay, I'll draw that triangle separately here so that you will not have any confusion. this is tension, and this is gravitational force, and this is outward centrifugal force, and this is direction of velocity. Okay, this is V bar. This is m v square divided by r, outward force. Gravitational force is mg, and this is tension T, which is making an angle theta. This tension is in upward direction. Obviously, this angle will also be equal to theta. Now I can resolve this mg into components. One component I can take it in this direction, and the other component I can take it in this direction. The component which is in this direction, you can write it as mg cos theta, and the component which is here can be written as mg sin theta. Okay, now from this figure, you can write free body diagram, and that free body diagram can be written as upward force is tension T. That should be balanced with mg cos theta plus mv square divided by r. So this is equation for tension. So what is happening here? As body go from A to B, velocity magnitude decreases. Therefore, tension decreases with position while going up. So as when the body is going up, tension will be decreased with respect to position, right? So at some particular point, V magnitude becomes 0. So when V magnitude is equal to 0, then tension T will be equal to mg into cos theta. So body is pulled down due to component of gravitational force. Due to component of gravitational force, body is pulled down. So as a result, this body comes down to position A, but because of inertia of motion, it continued to move in upward direction, in opposite direction. So as a result, the body is going here, and then it return back to this position, and then from here it goes to this position, and then it return back. So it goes up, it comes down, and then goes up, and then comes down. It executes simple harmonic motion. It executes simple harmonic motion. So this is what, when the body is being provided some velocity v such that it goes to certain height and then execute SHM. Yeah. Students, we have learned when the body is being provided some velocity at point A, definitely corresponding to its velocity, let me take that velocity which you are providing is UA, that is velocity at position A. When you are providing velocity at position A, it goes to certain height and then it comes back. When it is going up, definitely it gains some potential energy. Now I consider this is length from here to here, it is L. I'm sorry, it is not L, it is R, because this is treated to be as radius of the circuit, and it goes to certain height. This I consider it as H, and as this length is also equal to radius R, I can resolve this radius R into components. One component is till here and other component is till here. Okay, I can now write this component as r sine theta, and this component as r cos theta from triangle O, P and Q. Okay, now just I have resolved the vector into its components. Now at this point A, total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Potential energy is equal to 0 at position A because it is at exactly ground level. Therefore, total energy will be equal to only kinetic energy half m u a square. Let me take this as equation number 1. Now come to this position P. At position P, total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. So we are considering that kinetic energy is equal to 0. Only potential energy is equal to mg, and it is gaining some height h. So kinetic energy is equal to 0 since V magnitude is tending to 0 at that position. Now total energy can be simply written as mg into h. What is h written as? H is equal to r minus r cos theta. This is equal to mg capital R into 1 minus cos theta. So that is total energy. Now I can equate these two equations. We have got two equations. Now this is number 2. Equating 1 and 2. You can just equate 1 and 2 so that you can write half m u a square is equal to mg capital R into 1 minus cos theta. M and m gets cancelled. So u a square is equal to 2g capital R into 1 minus cos theta. Okay. Now if you observe carefully, this theta, like when you are providing some velocity to this particle, theta can be of any different value. Theta can be like it goes to some certain height. It can be 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees, so on. So if theta is less than 90 degrees, particle execute simple harmonic motion. So that means if the body is less than 90 degrees, it cannot go up to position B. So definitely reaching some particular point, it again comes back to position A, and that process continues. So if theta is less than 90 degrees, particle will execute simple harmonic motion. So for particle to execute simple harmonic motion, minimum velocity, like it's not minimum, I'm sorry, maximum velocity which you should provide can be provided is UA is equal to under root 2g capital R into 1 minus cos of 90. What is cos 90? Cos 90 will be equal to 0. So UA is equal to under root 2g capital R. So that means if velocity is less than under root 2gr, then this particle will execute simple harmonic motion. That is condition number 1. Like you need to provide this much amount of velocity for the particle. When you are providing a velocity under root less than under root 2gr, then the body will be executing simple harmonic motion. Any doubt? Any doubt? Do you have any question? So for particle to reach in between B and C, definitely you need to provide a velocity under root 2gr. Okay, so A నుంచి B కి కండిషన్ ఏమో రూట్ 2gr కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండాలి. B నుంచి C కి వెళ్ళాలంటే రూట్ 2gr కన్నా ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి. 2 రూట్ gr కన్నా తక్కువ ఉండాలి. So that is second condition. Now let us see the condition for body executing complete vertical circular motion. For body to execute complete vertical circular motion, we will be taking this object. Like initially you will be providing some velocity here. You will be giving some velocity at this position, and finally at this position it will have some velocity. I name these positions as A, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D, and here it is velocity C, and here it is velocity A which you are providing, or I'll just name it as U only because you are providing some velocity U at this position. Okay, so initially when the body goes to certain height, observe carefully. అయిపోయింది last, this is last concept. Now when the particle is executing vertical circular motion, like I'll be taking free body diagram at position C. Free body diagram at position C will be tension at C will be in downward direction. Gravitational force is also in downward direction. mv square by r will be in upward direction. So therefore tension T plus mg is equal to mv square divided by r, that is Vc. Now from here you can just write it as mv square, like of course we have done that. Let me take this as equation number 1. Now when you are dealing with total energy of the object, total energy at any position should be same. Now I'll be considering total energy at A should be equal to total energy at C. What is total energy at A? Total energy at A is kinetic energy plus potential energy. Total energy at C also, that is kinetic energy plus potential energy. This is not equal to 0, this is not equal to 0, potential energy is equal to 0, and this is not equal to 0. So I can write kinetic energy as half mu square, which is equal to kinetic energy at position C is half m Vc square, plus potential energy is mg into 2r, because when the body is going from A to C, its radius will become 2r. Mass on both sides gets cancelled. If mass on both sides gets cancelled, you can just write it as u square by 2 is equal to Vc square divided by 2 plus g into 2r. Okay, now particle to execute vertical circular motion, for completing vertical circular motion, velocity at C should not be equal to 0. Velocity at C should not be equal to 0. If velocity at C is becoming equal to 0, it means that body goes to position C and then it just falls down. That is what important condition you need to remember. So velocity at C should not be equal to 0. If Vc not equal to 0, then tension at C is not equal to 0. But what is tension at C? Tension at C can be written as tension at C is equal to m Vc square divided by R minus mg should not be equal to 0. M you can take it out and you can just remove it to the other side. Vc square divided by R minus g should be greater than 0, and V square or Vc square should be greater than or equal to G times capital R. Now you can take Vc square and you can substitute this GR value in this equation number 2. Let me take this as equation number 2. Let me take this as equation number 3. Using 3 in 2, I can write U square divided by 2 is equal to GR divided by 2 plus 2GR. 2 2's 4 plus 1 5. U square is equal to 5G capital R. U is equal to under root 5GR. So that means for a particle to execute complete vertical circular motion, velocity should be equal to or greater than under root 5GR. Then particle executes complete circular motion. And remember, this is vertical circular motion, complete vertical circular motion. Okay, so these are the conditions for velocity to be satisfied for the particle to reach from A to B and again from B to C and to complete the vertical circular motion. These are as a whole very important concepts.